Are you looking for peace of mind at your doorstep? Look no further. With the Blink Video Doorbell, your home's entrance is always within your control. Check out the link in the video description to learn more and get your Blink Video Doorbell on Amazon. Your home is in your hands.
HBO's House of the Dragon returns Sunday night for the 4th episode of the 8th episode season, setting up a back half filled with war. Last week's episode found Rhaenyra Targaryen, Emma Darcy, making the bold move to see her friend Alicent Hightower in person to try and stave off the war. That gambit failed, with this week's episode, A Dance with Dragons, marking both the beginning of this war between House Targaryen and House Hightower and the end of the first half of this 8-episode season. The promo at the end of last week's episode teased that the soldiers and dragons are being put into position as the war is about to begin. Who will strike first remains to be seen, though House Targaryen has a massive advantage with their fire-breathing dragons. The episode begins with Demon, Matt Smith, entering an empty room at the Harrenhal castle, as he hears voices in High Valyrian as he approaches the throne. He sees another vision of a young Rhaenyra, Millie Alcock, telling her she is destroying him. He cuts the vision's head off as the crown clangs to the ground as the beheaded Rhaenyra says, "There has been a raven." He's woken up by Ser Simon Strong, telling him there has been a raven, which does not bring good news. Aegon's army departed King's Landing a fortnight ago. The castles of Rosby and Stokeworth have both fallen without siege, Strong says. They have raised Aegon's banner and added their levies to Ser Criston Cole's host. Both houses cited that sad business with the usurper's son in their declarations, Strong adds. Ser Criston's army, now tripled in strength, might have Harrenhal as its destination. Even if you can raise a host of rivermen, they will not be ready in time to face him, Simon says. As Demon says, "Let's see what your Lord Paramount is made of." Demon is introduced to Ser Oscar Tully, grandson to Grover Tully and heir to Riverrun and future Lord Paramount of the Riverlands. Demon asks Oscar how his grandfather fares, and Oscar tells him, sadly, he remains incapacitated. He lies in a kind of waking sleep, unable to do much more than take meager drink. It is barely enough to sustain him. Demon asks so, he's alive? Oscar responds, yes, gods be good, but Demon says, well, my time is short and I have need of an army. Perhaps you might place a feather pillow over his head and speed along your inheritance? Oscar insists, I love my grandsire, like a father. My own Lord Father died suddenly, himself a young man. Lord Grover raised me in his stead. All very touching. Are you here to speak with your grandsire's voice? For House Tully and the Riverlands? Demon asks. While he still lives? That is not our way, Oscar says. As Demon says, then you're of no use to me. I can see why the Blackwoods and the Brackens did not fear to start a war beneath the nose of their liege lords. Demon adds, House Tully is a fish with no head. Remind me which of your countrymen claimed to fight in the name of Aegon? Was it Bracken or Blackwood? Simon says, it was House Bracken that declared green, your grace, as Demon says, who could remember? Summon the Blackwoods here. I require men of action to lead my host of rivermen. The episode cuts back to a harbor where Rhaenys, Eve Best, meets with Alan, the man who saved her husband Corlys Velaryon, Steve Toussaint. Rhaenys says, I'm given to understand my lord husband owes you his life. But I was not told his savior was so comely. Your mother must have been very beautiful. Corlys calls to Alan asking if his work is finished and he says no and leaves, as Rhaenys says, I just had a word with your captains. He was the sailor who plucked you from your watery grave? You did not think to mention it? Corlys says, I did not think it relevant, but Rhaenys says, I know who he is, Corlys. Corlys adds, Alan's past is no fault of his. He saved his lord's life. He should be raised up and honored, not hidden beneath the tides. Is this why you came? To subject me to an inquisition? She says, I came to tell you that Baela has called me to Dragonstone, as Corlys says, Baela? That council is going to dine on her and Jace for supper. They grow restless in Rhaenyra's absence. Still. Where has that woman gone? Rhaenys says, I suspect to try and draw us all back from the abyss. Meanwhile, Alicent chats with the Grand Maester, who gives